Now, let us understand about functions first of all. So, you have any idea?
No, ma'am.
Let me tell you about functions. So, even before we go into functions, we have to discuss some important things about these functions. So, basically, there is a method. Okay. Now, what is a method? Piece of reusable code. What is it? A piece of reusable code. Piece of means it may contain any number of lines. 5 lines, 10 lines, 15 lines, whatever it would be. There will be a piece of code which can be reused again and again. That is what here we said. That thing we can't see. Now the math calculation is a piece of code. Nothing but a method. But I am not able to use that piece of code wherever I want. I have to rewrite everything.
Okay.
But here what we are doing, method is nothing but what? A piece of reusable code. How to reuse that, what is that, we will see later.
Okay.
Now, method is of two types. First of all, you understood what is a method. Now we are understanding what is, how many types of methods are there.
Two types.
Method is of two types, that is function, procedure. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what is a function? A method which returns some value to the calling place if returns void if nothing to return. I'll tell you the meaning of it. Means what? Nothing. Or programmatically we can say no value or result to return. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what we are saying, what is a function? It is a type of method which returns some value to the calling place. Like for example, let me tell you one basic example here. In many online shopping platforms, when you do online shopping and all, what you do, like for example, if you send an email, okay, when you do a shopping, after completing your shopping, you will get a order number as a response.
Yes, ma'am.
That means what happened? Your call is putting the order and your return is getting the order ID for tracking purposes and all that.
Yes,
In the same way, when you are sending an email, sometimes we will expect to get the reply, or sometimes you get some such, you're sending an email to in expecting some, what we say, response from the users. Yeah.
Yes.
So it is said that whenever a function is being called, calling placements from wherever in your code, from wherever you are calling that function, it will return some value at that place.
Okay.
For example, it is not a rule that always you must see some online shopping websites, they will provide you the order ID, but they will not give you any tracking numbers and all that.
Yes, ma'am.
So they are just telling you that, okay, order is placed, that's it.
Okay.
In such cases, what we have to do, I don't have anything to give you back.
Yeah.
In that case, I will return what? Void programmatically.
Yeah.
That means I have nothing to return. So, what is that now? Function is a method which can either return a value, or it will
Or
return some void if it
void.
has nothing to return.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this is also a method which do not return anything to the calling
Calling
place.
place.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
That means not even void.
Okay.
So once a procedure is called, that's it. We don't know what happened, what is the result after calling the procedure. It won't give us anything back as a response. It is like
Okay.
you put a letter in the post box.
Yes,
Now you
ma'am.
don't know till that is done. In the same way, if the letter is reached the place and people say, I got your letter, acha, then you will know the procedure is worked.
Yes, ma'am.
In the same way, here also when you are calling a procedure, when do you know that it has been called successfully and the work is done? Now when you get the expected result.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
procedure by itself is not giving or notifying, it is not going to notify with any type of response.
Okay.
So it is basically something like if you use a function method, it will notify the user. If it is a procedure, it will not notify anything. That's it.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Clear? Now, based on this, we are going to understand one important, very important thing. Listen carefully here. We should understand. See, till now, when we are working with the basic programming features in C sharp, we are writing this line always static
Static
void
void
main.
main.
Okay.
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
when you are writing this static void main, forget about the static for some time because we did not come to that concept yet. So when we will come to static, there we will discuss about that. Now,
Okay.
sometimes talk about this void now. At least now we understood that void is some kind of return which is given by a function, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When a function do not have anything to return, then only we will see a void. Then that means we already know that main is a function and it is
Yes.
returning void. Now the question is, why do main return void here? See, main even returns integer value also. For that, how to work with the integer return type, what are the command line arguments, we will discuss all of them later. Right now,
Okay.
we are discussing only about our question is, why do main return void? Because see, in all our programs till now we discussed what are we doing? We are always writing static void main,
Yes, ma'am.
right? In the do while examples everywhere. So why we are writing void here in the main? Now, first thing, the very first answer is C sharp doesn't support procedures. What we are saying?
Okay.
Remember this one, it is very important. What are we saying? We say that C sharp doesn't support procedures. That
Yes.
means whenever you have a method in a C sharp, that is nothing but a function, and
Okay.
a function must and should have a return type.
Okay.
If you say that, no, my function is not going to return anything to the calling place, then simply return void because it is already said in a function definition, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is the reason we are writing what? Void
Void
as a return
main.
type for the main function.
Yes, ma'am.
Now did you get this?
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, main will also return some integer value. And if you remember in the very first program, we have also seen something like string or
String. Yeah.
arguments or something. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
these has a different purposes. These are called as command line arguments. All that we will see in later sessions. But right
Okay.
now, what are we trying to understand? Why are we writing void main?
Yes,
Now we
ma'am.
understood that Since the C# is not supporting procedures, so
Yeah.
what happens if I don't write void here? This becomes a procedure, and procedures are no way supported in the C#.
C#.
That is the reason I am mentioning void main.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. But one thing that just for your knowledge purpose I am sharing this. There is another language supported by .NET framework, that is VB.NET. So this language supports procedures.
Okay.